Hi, my name is Sam Lips. I play Billy Lawlor in 42nd Street. It's a wild spectacle full of tap dancing and fun. It's quite a love letter to the art of musical theater. I play Billy Lawlor, who plays the lead role in the show within the show. They're putting on a musical called Pretty Lady, and Billy Lawlor plays the leading man in that show. And then there's also a little love story between me and the leading lady, Peggy Sawyer. So that's kind of my role in the piece, which is great fun.
Yeah, and obviously 42nd Street's been around for nearly 100 years, the film kind of now.
Yeah.
What kind of attracted you to want to be part of this production?
Well, I worked with Jonathan Church on Singing in the Rain, just previous, which was so fun. I mean, that production was incredible. I don't know if you've seen it. It's been around for several years. It's just a brilliant production. So I was so excited to see that he was doing this show. And Billy Lawlor has been a dream role of mine for a long time. I did the show at university when I was 19, back in the States. And I said, I want to play that role. So to have the two things kind of come together has just been a dream come true. It's great.
Yeah, and then when you do get cast in the production, do you ever go look back at the old film? Do you kind of look at all the old material, or do you just kind of come into it fresh?
Well, the whole idea behind creating this production is they were going to do a brand new version, because 42nd Street has kind of always been done according to a formula that has existed to the test of time. It's been very successful, of course, but I think they wanted to create a new version. And so with that in mind, it was nice to go in with sort of a clean slate and see what we all came up with as a company, with Jonathan's vision, with Bill Deemer's choreography, and also just sort of the themes of today, and how do we bring that to this piece that is so of its time, you know what I mean? So it was nice to come in with a fresh look on it all.
Yeah, and I must say, kind of having seen the Drury Lane one, and Curve did it 10 plus years ago, kind of this one's a bit more rooted in reality of the kind of the struggle of kind of the people and the performers.
Yeah, indeed. It's it's great. It's great fun.
But then with such a big dance spectacle in rehearsals, how does it work? Do you kind of do the dancing first, do you do the singing, or is it kind of a mix of both?
It all kind of happens at the same time, really. I mean, obviously there is a lot of dance in this show. There's a lot of choreography. So that, at least for those of us who dance in the show, that took up a lot of the time. Yeah. But as we were working on a dance number in one room, there was a scene work happening in another room. There was music rehearsals happening in another room. There were costume fittings happening in other rooms. It was all kind of happening simultaneously, and you'd sort of get plucked from each room to say, "Oh, can you go run this scene in this other room real quick," and then come back. And so it was, there was a lot to make happen, but we did it. We managed to pull it off.
You have, but then obviously, as you say, there's a lot of dance in it and a lot of kind of energy and everything. But how then do you maintain that 8 shows a week, kind of maintaining that energy?
To be honest, it's just building up the stamina. I mean, a lot of us, this is what we do. We are, a lot of us I've been doing it for a very long time. But, this is what we do. We know how to pace ourselves. We know how to work through the stamina required to put on this show every night. And it does get easier the more you do it. It's like people who run marathons. That's your first one. You're going to be hurting. But as you do it more and more, your body gets used to it, and it becomes less of a mountain to climb, if you will.
Yes, I keep saying on social media, the cast ice baths and everything after the show and all these things.
Yeah, yeah, and we get the ice baths. We do the full warm up beforehand, and I personally, my diet is very strict. I eat every 2 hours, So we do what we got to do.
Yeah, amazing. But then, do you have a favourite moment within the production yourself?
My favourite moment, it's very quick, it's very short, and you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But Ruthie Henshaw does this beautiful song, "I Only Have Eyes for You," which is, a popular song, one a lot of people know. Mm-hmm. And she sings it beautifully. And then little old me, I come on at the end, and it becomes the opening number of the show within the show, Pretty Lady. And so I get to sing a little snippet of that. And it's so quick and it's so random, but I just love singing that song. And I love the suit I'm wearing in that moment. And it's just me front and center with a spotlight. And it's a dream come true every night. I just love it.
Yes, I have actually written that down on my notes, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
That was that moment where you're kind of there, and that when your voice then takes over, so good.
Oh, thank you. It's really fun.
Such a great moment. And kind of, there's so many moments. Obviously, Dames is obviously up there, I suppose. That's kind of such
James
a fun
is great
moment.
fun as well, yeah.
Then, obviously, you're working alongside Nicole Lilly, who kind of gets to have that kind of moment where she does become the star, and I guess kind of going forward that this role could be that moment for her, hopefully. How thrilling is that kind of to work alongside that every night?
I mean, Nicole is she's an absolute dream. She's a professional, she's fun, she's positive, she's so talented. And I think, when you have someone like her at the top in this company, that attitude trickles down. And I think it has made this company so lovely to work with. And because she sets that example, I have so much respect for her. She's amazing. And
then for an audience perspective, what would you want anyone to take away from seeing this production of 42nd Street?
Well, I think what's really interesting about putting this production on now is that we're coming out of this pandemic. We're also in the middle of this cost of living crisis. There's a lot of people who are dealing with similar issues to what the characters are dealing with in this show. This show takes place during the Great Depression in New York when everyone was out of work. And it's about coming out of that and putting on something that will make people happy, will make people smile, will make people forget the sort of hardships of their normal lives. And I think that is something that audience members can really relate to. And I think that this show will give them that little bit of escapism and make them feel a bit brighter, whatever they've got going on in their lives. I spoke to a lovely lady last night who came into our press night, and she said, I couldn't stop smiling the whole time. And I was like, that means we've done our job. So yeah, if you need to come and just have a laugh, smile, walk out of the theater singing to yourself, this is that show.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree on all of those points. I won't go too deep. I got some bad news the day before I came to see it the second time, and just like that, coming to see it again was such like that uplift and such a boost. It's one of them shows that you can't help but feel good watching. So
yeah,
fully approved.
Oh, that's great. That's good to hear.
I'm going to fully indulge in a Sing in the Rain question, which has probably been asked this another time because I did see it on tour last year. Firstly, the rain. How is that to work with? I mean, how's that?
Oh, you know what? The rain was so fun. It's heated, it's cleaned, it's lovely. It's like taking a nice warm shower at the end of Act 1. And I don't know, there's just something about having it rain on stage. It just makes you happy. It's just so fun. And then to perform that number, which is so iconic.
Yeah.
It was just every night. It was like, how is this my life? This is a dream come true. It was so fun. It never got old.
Yeah, and obviously the finale bit was genius. I was thankfully
the finale bit, of course.
I was a few rows back, to be fair, so I didn't get wet, but
didn't quite splash, but yeah, that's good.
So good. And obviously, then you play in such an iconic role in that show. And obviously, 42nd Street is such an iconic. There's songs in 42nd Street. So iconic. I mean, if people don't know 42nd Street, they'll know some of the songs.
Oh, definitely.
Is that kind of
it's sorry?
Is there ever that pressure then when you're doing such like iconic shows to deliver?
I guess so, but I don't know. I think I focus more on the joy that I feel.
Yeah.
I just think about 6-year-old me watching these films and dancing around my living room. The fact that I am on this stage performing these numbers in front of thousands of people, I think that takes away any of the pressure, any of the fear, because it just brings me so much joy and happiness to perform these numbers.
Amazing. I have 5, I've called them quick fire questions for you, but it depends how quick you want to answer.
Okay.
These are more just general, random ones. If you weren't in theatre and performing, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
Ooh, do you know what? If I had gone way, way back, if I hadn't even gone into performing, I'm a bit of a maths guy. I'm a bit of a math nerd, so I probably would have gone into something to do with chemistry or chemical engineering or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. It seems very far fetched, but yeah, that's probably what I would have done.
And do you have? I know you've performed kind of in the US and over here as well, but do you have a favourite theatre you've either performed in or visited?
Ooh, do you know what? First one that comes to mind is Radio City. I performed on the Tony Awards a few years ago with the Cher Show back in New York.
Yeah.
And I had seen shows in Radio City, but to perform on that stage, I mean, it is massive. The theater is massive. I think that was another big moment for me. Of like, oh my gosh, I'm on the stage at Radio City Music Hall.
Amazing. What was the last TV series you binged?
Last TV series I binged was, oh gosh, you know what? Taskmaster. That was the last one.
Yeah.
I love Taskmaster.
Yeah, it's a good shout. They should do a theatre one. That seems like a special.
Oh yeah.
Get you all on. You have to do one just backstage.
I love that show. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you probably don't get much time, obviously, with touring and everything. But what was the last piece of theatre you actually saw?
Last piece of theatre I saw was, wait for it. It's been a while, I think.
Yeah.
I believe it was. Oh gosh, you know what? I can't even remember now. I did see a show at my friend runs a college.
Yeah.
I saw a show there. I saw their showcase recently, which was amazing. They were wonderful. But yeah, I can't remember last like big show I saw.
Yeah. I suppose it's hard, isn't it?
That's weird.
Touring about and
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's like, you know, when you're working, you don't really have time.
Yes. But then, throw it back. What was the first ever show that you saw?
First ever show that I saw, I think it was Phantom of the Opera. It was the tour when I grew up in Colorado, and the tour was in town, and yeah, I think that was the first show I saw. I was terrified, but yeah, I do like very vividly remember seeing that show. I remember the big chandelier going up and all that. Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah. And then what shows or performances have made a big impact and inspired you during your life?
Well, the reason I started dancing back in the day, I saw Riverdance with Michael Flatley back in the day, and that was actually what got me into dancing, and yeah, so that's always going to stick with me for sure.
Yeah, I only saw Riverdance first time last year, and I was amazed by it.
Isn't it incredible? I mean, it's just incredible what they do.
Yeah, dare I say, I'm not really into too much dance. But obviously, in the last few, because obviously running this kind of theatre blog that I do, I've seen kind of Matthew Bourne stuff that I probably wouldn't have seen, all kind of things like that, which has been amazing. Like seeing that world, and now I'm fully in. So it's similar, like 42nd Street.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Like 42nd Street, you come out wishing you could tap dance. I mean, I can't, but
yeah,
you wish you could. You come out, you wishing you could, don't you? Like,
set your mind to it. Anything can happen.
That is true. And obviously, go back to 42nd Street. It's almost a love letter to theatre. There's not many shows, I mean, like backstage kind of shows where it's in that world, the whole thing. But then what does theatre simply mean to you in your life?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it is the greatest happiness I think I've ever felt being on stage. It's those moments where, despite all of the work, all of the stress, all of the frustration, all those times where you have been beaten down, to have those moments where, you know, you are lifted by that audience, you're doing what you love the most, is the definition of bliss, and I can't really describe it in any other way. It's one of those things where I know that like this is the happiest I will ever be, is on this stage doing my passion, doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think that's in a nutshell, I guess, what it means to me.
Yeah, I've just thought of another really good moment in the show that I'm going to throw in there. Obviously, the bit where you're in the title song, and obviously the bit where before the curtain goes up and the stairs come out, like that must like obviously I know you're always behind you at that moment, but kind of such a good moment.
It is a great moment. I mean, just anytime when it's just you and a spotlight, and the band, it's really magical. It's a really magical feeling.
Yes, and then to condense this whole interview down, can you describe 42nd Street in just 3 words, please?
Just 3 words. I would say fun. I would say heartfelt and dazzling.
Good words. My friend, it's not a word, but taptastic is a word that he came out with when we saw it.
Taptastic, that's a great word, yeah.
It throws best of both worlds. But Sam, thank you so much for your time. 42nd Street
thank you.
At Sadler's Wells until 2nd of July, and then it tours until October, I think, currently booking until.
Yeah, the end of October.